You guys that have been watching for a while know that I've been singing the praises of these bimetal blades. This one in particular has been on my mill for a really long time, and they're an awesome blade. They cost more, but I mean they last 3 or 4 times longer than the regular double hards. But that being said, I think I've hit 3 nails with this blade even still, and it up until about 4 minutes ago it was still cutting like new. But there are some things that a wood cutting saw blade just isn't meant to cut. You wood-mizer owners probably already know what's happened here, but for the rest of you, boom. Let's try this again. Now you might notice I've got my sawmill turned around 180 degrees from how I had been sawing. I actually had the sawmill hooked up to my pickup. A friend of mine took down 17 fir trees at his house last week, and I was supposed to go out Sunday and saw some board and batten siding for him and some other miscellaneous lumber. And as I was getting ready to leave, he texted me and said that his daughter may have been exposed to the coronavirus at school. And so he wanted to give me a heads up because my kids were going to come with me and play with his kids while I was doing the sawing. So who knows how big a deal it is, but it sounds big enough deal to not risk going over there and maybe getting my kids sick or myself sick or anybody. So I hope they're all doing okay. But we're back here. I've got a couple of true dimension 2x6 boards cut here that I'm going to cut into rafters for the interior rafters. Let's get them down and get them cut up. I'm going to try and share a little bit of what I learned about the speed square and laying out rafters. You see here it says pivot. Basically you line that up with where your cut is going to start, and we're going to be a 6/12 pitch on a common rafter. So common is all laid out right here, and what you do is you pivot until the edge of your board matches up with the 6, and that gives you your angle for your plumb cut, which is the top of the rafter. On this side of the speed square you have degrees, and so it looks like probably about 26.5 degrees, maybe 27, but then I can set up my saw to cut that angle every time. I'll try 26 and see how that lines up with my cut. I think we'll do a test cut first ahead of my line and see what we end up with. Boy, that looks pretty close. Okay, I'm going to lay out the bird's mouth now, which is the bottom end of the rafter. And thanks to my buddy Ty, who brought over his framing calculator, I know that my next cut is 7 foot 1/8 inch. Then I do the same thing. I put my pivot point on my line. I line up 6 on the common scale. Nope. And then I've got a 4-inch beam that's going to sit on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up on my plumb line here. Hopefully you can see it. And then I'm going to get to 4 inches because I'm going to be sitting on a 4-inch beam. So this is my bird's mouth right there. And this, I guarantee you, that's where I came up wrong on my first rafter measurement, is because I laid this out for 6 inches instead of 4. So that's nice to know that I figured that out. Now this will have to do with my skill saw. Well, the rafters are loaded up. Tomorrow, weather permitting, we're going to head out to the site again and get those suckers put up. I say weather permitting. Friday it was sunny and in the 60s, and then Saturday it was snowing. So tomorrow is just supposed to be a slight chance of rain, and hopefully we can get back over there and get these things up in the air. This rafter weighs every bit of 100 pounds. It is soaking wet. It's going to be fun to get up there, to say the least, but stay tuned. This could be really entertaining. Well, it's starting to look like something now. I'm gonna run home, possibly home, and mill up the purlins and get ready to start staining it, and then put the tin on and build the chimney. And this thing is gonna be just about wrapped up.